gave Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian. It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets, or they're dead. She gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. It's right. And they're rated equal.
Let's start out with Willie in North Dakota on line one. Willie, welcome to Breitbart News Sunday.
Trump just needs to keep speaking the truth. I really liked how he talked about giving the Medal of Honor to people and to soldiers that are shot up or dead. That's really not fun. But giving the Medal of Freedom to people, to rich donors like Miriam Adelman, now that's really fun. Doesn't Trump have such high regard and respect for all our suckers and losers?
You don't know her name, and you called in a show and made a claim about her. You didn't even get her name right. So why don't you go back and look up your talking points again? Who cares what her name is?
Why don't you address what
you called in? Because it's a made-up story. I listened to Trump's speech. It was a speech against anti-Semitism. I assume you would agree with that, right? You oppose anti-Semitism, or are you on this? It's a made-up story. Trump was praising Miriam Adelson, and he was
my ears must be broken.
Listen, Willie, I know who you are. You make up a name every time you call this station. So shut up and listen for a second. You don't even get her name right. Miriam Adelson, one of the most pro-Israel Republican donors, also, by the way, a psychiatrist who specializes in treating addiction. So she's actually doing something about the opioid pandemic in this country. He praised her, and he talked about how she had the Medal of Freedom. And he said that here she is, alive and well, and she got this award. And yeah, you listen to people like Anton Rupar, who chop up videos and lie about what people said. You listen to the Kamala Harris Twitter account when it's not lying about what Kamala said, is actually giving away the game. They were the ones who put out the video of Tim Walz falsely claiming to have been in war. So that's where you get your information from. But I watched that speech. There was nothing at all offensive about what he said. What Democrats don't like about that speech was Donald Trump has a stronger policy on fighting anti-Semitism than Kamala Harris does. Kamala Harris hired a Muslim liaison who was a leading anti-Semite advocate on campus. She was at the forefront of anti-Israel protests in her time on campus. And meanwhile, Donald Trump is saying to college campuses, if you guys continue this, you're going to lose your accreditation and you're going to lose your federal funding. That's why Democrats are mad, because Donald Trump has a stronger, and if you go to the streets of Chicago this week, as we are tonight, if you go to Breitbart's Facebook page, you can see the live coverage right now from our video team.
Put me on mute, Joel.
No, everyone can hear you saying la la la, because this is how we argue with Democrats. We give you facts, and you guys try to interrupt, and you behave like babies. Willie?
Should I bring more lipstick?
Willie, stop playing with your Willie and go call a show when you know the information and you don't make up names and get things wrong. Go study your talking points a little bit better and don't interrupt somebody when they're giving you facts. You might learn something. Unless, of course, Willie, do you have a problem with Israel? Do you have a problem with Trump standing up for Jews? Is that what bothered you really about that speech? Because I think that what really bothers you is actually the idea that
considering that I lived in Israel for a year, I don't have a big problem with Israel.
Well, what did you learn there in Israel? What did you learn in Israel?
Slicha Evrit Ulpan.
Yeah, your Hebrew is as bad as your English. Thanks very much. Let's go to the next caller.
Yes.
Let's go to Jim in Chicago on line 2. Jim, welcome to the program.
How you doing? Interesting follow with Willie.
Yeah.
First of all, today